Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Tank be chopping, and I'm back with another haircut tutorial. Alright guys, so as you can see, we doing a transformation cut. We cutting all this hair off. We actually gonna be doing a number 2 on top, 1 on the sides, taper, line up the beard, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna give him a full transformation, put some enhancements, make this haircut look as good as we can possibly get it to look. So I'm starting off with my Stylecraft Rebels. I do got my number 2 guard, and I am using my Gamma dubs, or my Stylecraft dubs, whatever you want to call them. And as you can see, I'm going over the top of my client's head, and this clipper's just mowing through bulk, man. This is a really good clipper when it comes to taking bulk down. So as you can see, I'm going against the grain and across the grain, just trying to get it all down to that desired length. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start taking down some of the sides. So once again, guys, we are doing a 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of down fading. So I'm taking my 1.5 guard lever all the way open, and I'm coming up right to that parietal ridge area using a slight flick out motion, debulking that hair, and then I close my lever coming right below that, doing the same exact thing. And then as you can see, I'm doing a little bit of lever play, and I'm doing this in, at sections. So I did like the right side and the back, and now I'm moving on to the left side. So I'm going in with my lever open right to that parietal ridge, and then I'm gonna close my lever and come right below that. And when you're doing a down fading technique, guys, you want to really make sure that you're stacking those guards, meaning you're coming as close as you possibly can without going too far into that section. I know it's kind of hard to explain, but if you get it, you get it, and if you don't, just keep practicing, and I think you'll understand what I mean as you do it. So now this is my number 1 guard lever open, and as you can see, I'm coming right below what I did with my 1.5 guard. And then I closed my lever and I came right below that. Still using a slight flick out motion, still using my fading motion, trying to get all this down to that length. Because once again, guys, we're doing that 1 on the side, leaving the top of number 2, and then we're gonna be doing a taper. And you may have to lever play a little bit, but that's the good thing about down fading. If you leave a slight line, you can either open up your lever, or if your lever was already open, you just put on the next guard up and then just start messing with that line. So that's why I like down fading in certain situations. I know sometimes it can be quicker and sometimes it can't, if you don't know what you're doing, or if you're not really too familiar with the head shape and what the hair does. Alright, and since we are going to be cleaning up the beard, I am taking that number 1 guard, cleaning up my client's beard, getting all that down to the desired length. I think the last time my client came into the shop was like right before Thanksgiving. So that was November, so December, January. So it's been about 3 months since he came in. So as y'all saw, his hair was pretty long. We already got it all down to that number 2 on top, 1 on the sides, 1 on the beard, you know what I'm saying? We gonna hook him up. Alright, so now that is done, I'm actually going in with my Gamma Evos, my X Evos. I got the Filthy Blends modification on it. I got the Andes GTX blade on it, and I'm just setting in my first initial guideline for the taper. And since I have the trimmers in my hand already, I'm gonna go ahead and line him up behind the ear. Just because I have the trimmers in my hand already, and I feel that it's gonna make me, cut this hair a little quicker instead of me having to switch back to the trimmer, then switch back to the clipper. Now I'm going in with my shaver, getting all that down the skin, flicking, right below that line. Now I'm going back in with my Stylecraft Rebels, level all the way open, setting in another guideline. And for the amount of room that I have right here, I set in my section about 3/4 of an inch, went in with my lever open, and now I'm fading down, meaning I'm closing my lever little by little, working my way down every time I close my lever. So by the time my lever is all the way closed, I should be at the very bottom of that guideline. And that guideline didn't come completely out, but I'll get it out with the trimmer later on. Now I'm going in with my 0 guard lever all the way open, and technically this should fade into my number 1. Now, as you can see, I am cleaning up behind the ear, adjusting my level as needed, trying to get rid of that guideline. And for the most part, it's going to get rid of most of these lines and dark areas, but I still am going to detail it just because I want to be a little, I don't want to say perfect, but I'm being a little nitpicky with some of the situations or some of the looks that I get within this taper. So that was my 0 guard. Now I'm going back in with my number 1 guard, and I'm just attacking the top of this taper. And the reason being is, as you can see, it left some dark areas. I don't want to necessarily say a line, but it did leave some discrepancies towards the top of this taper area. So I'm going in with my one guard, just adjusting my lever as needed. Started off with it open and started to do some down fading to make sure that looked good. And now I'm going back in with my trimmers and getting out the bottom line. And now I'm, just doing some detail work, going in with my lever open and adjusting my lever, doing some slight lever play, trying to get this blend to come together. And as y'all can see, the blend is already pretty much coming together. There is some small detail work that needs to be done, but for the most part, the blend is there. And as you can see, I am fading in that beard also, doing the same exact steps, lever open, and then closing my lever little by little. But instead of working my way down, I'm working my way up. And these are my Stylecraft hitters. And with these hitters, I actually have the Filthy Blends mod on it also, and I have a Babyliss blade on it. But as you can see, guys, now moving on to my client's front lineup, using my X Evos with that GTX blade once again, setting in my first initial guideline, and I'm working my way over. And you want to take your time when you're doing the edge up, guys. I know a lot of times people think that edge ups are quick and you can just rush through it. Now, if you've been doing it for a while, you may be able to do that, but I always suggest and recommend that you take your time, tap a couple times and then take a look back and see what's really going on with the edge up, because if not, it's easy to either push your client's edge up too far or curve it the wrong way, like push it too high or not, basically not bringing it up enough to where it looks straight. But just take your time, guys. Use your mirror, take a step back, and you'll be able to get a nice clean edge up. Alright, and once again, guys, since I have the trimmer in my hands, I'm gonna go ahead and line up this side of the beard also. Started off with the back of the beard, just made a nice little straight line, and now we're curving the top of the beard into the sideburn area, into the taper. Lining up underneath. And underneath, most of the time, it's client's preference, guys. You always want to ask your client how high they want it. Sometimes they'll say jawline, sometimes they'll say a little lower, sometimes they'll say at the very bottom. So ask your client, turn them towards the mirror, and see what look he wants. Alright, guys, so now that side is done, we moved on to the opposite side. I did speed this side up. I didn't want to, take too much time showing y'all exactly what I'm doing. I just sped it up a little bit, but we're doing the same exact step, guys. Like, I'm still gonna, I still bought it on my client, taking that shaver to him, using the flick out motion. Now I'm going in with my Stylecraft Rebels, lever open. And I'm gonna start fading down, meaning I'm gonna close my lever little by little, working my way down so that when my lever is all the way closed, I should be at that bottom line. And here is my zero guard. A lot of people don't like the zero guard from Stylecraft or Gamma. They say that they're not good, but I don't have no issue with it. Maybe because I use more of a flick out motion or I use a lot of corner blending, but I don't have an issue with it. I understand it's not as short as like the Wall Zero or the Babyliss Premium Zero, but it gets the job done if you flick at that line. I don't have no issues with it. But anyways, guys, as you can see, this side of the blend is already coming together. And mind y'all, guys, I am using a lot of Gamma and Stylecraft tools on this haircut. I've been putting together different combinations of tools, see which one works better for me. But just so y'all know, if y'all like any of these tools, any Stylecraft tool or Gamma tool, you can actually go to their website, Stylecraft Plus, or no, what is it? StylecraftUS.com or GammaPlusNA.com, and you can buy any of these tools and use my discount code TANK10. Save yourself a little bit of money, And people always ask me about that Rebel, what I think about it. The Rebel, I still think, is top 3 clippers in my opinion as of right now. So I've gotten a lot of new clippers. I've been putting a lot of new clippers to test, putting them to the test, see what they do. And I still think the Rebel is top 3 clippers as of right now. So with that being said, once again, guys, if you're interested in it, you can go to their website, use my discount code TANK10, save yourself a little bit of money, But nonetheless, we're getting back into this haircut. As you can see, I'm just lining up the opposite side of my client's beard, making sure it matches the other side. What you do to one side, you gotta do the same exact thing to the opposite side and make sure it looks exactly the same. And even though it's not gonna look exactly the same, you want it to look as close to the other side as you possibly can make it. Alright, guys, so we're moving on to the back taper. I've been trying to show more of the back tapers and the back sides of my haircuts. I know most of the time I only do like the left and the right side, but as y'all can see, I moved on to the back also. Decided to record it for y'all, but nonetheless, guys, we are doing the same exact steps. Only thing different here is when it comes to the back, sometimes the back can be difficult due to, you know, indentions and bones in the back of the client's head and whatnot. So sometimes it's a little harder, but if you do the same steps and just really focus more on the detailing, then I think you can get a good look in the back of the taper. I know a lot of times back tapers are more difficult, take you a little longer. Sometimes you struggle with them because, you know, I have the same issue at times also. But just take your time, go through your steps, you know, trust the process, go through your steps completely, and then come back in detail as needed. And you're gonna have to use a lot of corner blending also, guys. At least I feel you have to. Like, I know I do. Sometimes I have to go a little higher with certain guards. But like I said, guys, once again, take your time, use your mirror, make sure you look in that mirror, and because the mirror ain't gonna lie to you, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes your eyes are gonna get tired, you ain't gonna exactly see what's going on. So use the mirror, and the mirror is gonna be your best friend when it comes to doing these tapers or haircuts in general. Alright, so now that that is done, guys, we're moving on to the lineup with the razor. So I put the hot towel on my client, had some lather on and wiped it all off. And now I'm hitting these lines with that razor, making sure that these lines are super, super sharp. Now, I know a lot of times people like to put the enhancements on first. I do that most of the time, but when I'm doing a beard, I tend not to because I put that hot towel on their face and I have to wipe off all that hot lather. So if I do that after I put on the enhancements, it can wipe them enhancements off, because even though the enhancements are waterproof, if you scrub them or if you wipe them too hard or you got the lather on them and then you put the water, the towel with the water, it's gonna take a lot of them off. So I like to do it after I shave my client. And this is just my preference, guys. Like if you do a beard and you would like to do like shave the beard after you put enhancements, you can do that. You can dry shave your client if you like. You can use shave gel. That's all up to you. I just like to use the hot lather because I just feel that it gives my clients a better experience. Alright, so now that that part of the haircut is done, I'm going to move on to enhancements. I'm starting off with my no drip from Tomb 45, and this is black brown. I don't like to use black too much on any of my clients, but this is black brown, guys, and I'm spraying just enough to where it makes the lines look sharp and not to where any of these lines look fake, because a lot of times I see a bunch of barbers overdoing it on these enhancements, and this is just meant to enhance the haircut, make it look a little sharper. It's not supposed to make the haircut look fake, or when you go home and shower, you're not supposed to look like it's not supposed to look like a blah, 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 blah. Can't speak properly. It's not supposed to look like a completely different haircut. But anyways, guys, check it out. This is the before look. This is how my client came into the shop looking, and this is the after. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this haircut in the comment section. If y'all like this video, please make sure to smash that like button. Also, if you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe one time for your boy. Remember, guys, if you want a haircut from your boy, you can go to my website, tankbchopping.com. I'm in the Houston area, Southeast Houston area, so if you're in the area, book with me. If you want me to record it for YouTube, let me know in the little note section. I'm gonna try my best to record it for YouTube. But I appreciate y'all for watching, guys. That's basically it for this video. Appreciate y'all, guys. Until next time, let's go. Yeah.